Oh my goodness.
Mid-air correction. Here's a replay of the pass. Sutilli comes in aggressive. Tyler thinks he's got things under control on the inside, but Sutilli just comes in really fast and just, bam, puts himself out front. What an aggressive, ballsy move.
Into the Zox rollers we go. This is for second place. Tyler on the inside. Oh, Metcalf grabs a handful off of that big lifter and then goes inside. Boy, Metcalf just seems to put the bike exactly where he wants it.
Just a gigantic skylab for Metcalf, and he's getting in right where Tyler lost the lead to Sutilli. The same corner. Bam, Metcalf now snares second. And you know he's going to look across. He can see, he can smell Sutilli right there.
As we see the number 11 get by the number 4 of Gavin Grayson, so that puts Mayer up into 4th place. And now the 148 of Cole Thompson after that put down is making it up on the 12 of Jeremy Medallia. So we got a lot of action brewing in the top 10.
Yes, and I know Jeremy was not feeling that well this morning. The heat, I don't know, he was battling some demons, so let's see if he can hang on. He's riding very well right now. Great style, but right around the outside, Cole knows how to find lines, boy, and he just make that work.
That one was smooth as silk, Brian, smooth as silk. And you're right, you could just see how Jeremy Medallia was just holding back a little bit there. He didn't look as tenacious for sure.
Yeah, he has been so strong on the 450.
Right, let's go back and have a look at that pass that Mayer made on Grayson. He's using that Paul Telly line on the inside.
Yeah, I wonder if they were chatting about that, but boy, oh boy, does he just string that together well and skylabs it out similar to Metcalf. And they don't care about the bumps they landed, man. These guys are so good. They just keep the gas on. They are so strong. They can land pretty much anywhere out here.
On board the 32 of Brock Hoyer through the Zox rollers, Brian, coming into that first turn in the mechanics area. Oh, and Dylan Kalin. Dillman's on the inside and looking good. The FXR Yamaha as well of Dylan Kalin.
Very strong rider, and he also has a lot of laps here. He doesn't live too far from this track now. The first place battle is getting hot. Look at CTO with all that banner in there. Good thing it is on the chain side, the left side, not in the back brake, but look at this. Metcalf tries it, and Sutilli steps up to the challenge.
The thing I like about Metcalf is the way that he applies pressure. He puts his nose in, backs off, has a look, assesses, and then attacks like this right there. Oh my!
He is a true pro. Sorry to cut you off, Travis. What a setup there. I think Sutilli got a little bit mired up with that lapper.
I think so.
I don't think we've seen a rider more physically prepared, mentally prepared, and has the race savvy that Metcalf possesses since JSR. These two guys are like two peas in a pod.
And especially style too, Brian, the way that they ride the bike. They're similar stature, so I love watching those guys on the bike. Here is the 37 Machine Racing Yamaha of Kyle Keach. You know he loves this track, Brian, getting by the number 4 of Gavin Grayson, so that's going to put him in the top 5.
Isn't it something to see Keister back, the bulldozer? He is such a darling for this Gopher Dunes fan, and he does not know the word quit. Look at this. He's making moves on this racetrack. We haven't seen him since that broken leg last year.
Number 123 of Brett Metcalf. Leading edge, Monster Energy Kawasaki in the lead right now after passing the number 515 of Sutilli. There is 515 Sutilli. Oh, and it looks like Tyler Medallia has gotten by Sutilli for second, so I love the fact that Tyler's back on the gas.
I have not seen Tyler look so strong. He just has none of Sutilli. He's eaten his roost. He's up into second now. This I gotta mention is Klatt. He is up to 13th after dead last at the start, so a very inspired ride for Dusty.
The number 11 of Teddy Mayer going inside, coming into the monster corner on Sutilli. You know what, Sutilli's a great sand rider, Brian, but maybe what we're looking at here is a rider tiring in these long moto situations, especially in this deep sand.
Yeah, these other guys have been doing the 30 minutes plus 2 all year. Sutilli maybe not trained quite as hard as these factory riders, but he is showing he's got something for the future.
To our leader, the 123 of Brett Metcalf. Oh, through the Zox rollers, Brian, and even a rider of his stature is having some issues out here today.
This track will bite you. Motocross is just a series of beautiful movements, and those movements are very critical on this racetrack.
The number 148 of Cole Thompson with a quick move on Sutilli. That puts him in 4th, Brian. So interesting, he goes down early, has to make a lot of passes now into the top 5. Here's that Metcalf situation.
Yeah, he just gets it all wrong right here. Just hits, gets a little sideways, and right there, steps on the back brake, and that saves his bacon. That was a full flying W. He was going over the bars. He had the wherewithal and the experience to know he stepped on that back brake, slowed all that momentum down, and he saved it. That was the lead he almost threw away there. He just has to go change his gotchis for the next moto.
To the number 2, Rockstar Yamaha, Bobby Canary. We talked about how tough this guy is and how many motos he does in a year, sitting right now in 7th. I know he wants to be better, Brian, but boy, you just got to take points when you can get them. To our leader, the 123 of Brett Metcalf, in control of this series. A great ambassador for the sport, Brian, and a class act. And you can follow Brett at Medi24.
Stick with us. We've got podium celebrations after this break. Welcome back to the Monster Energy Motocross Nationals here at Cortland, Ontario. Metcalf sporting the full Sanchez comes out with a beautiful win. He can do no wrong in this country. To the Yamaha leaderboard, Tyler Medaglia impressed me tremendously, but I want to go down to Heath Harrison, Liam O'Farrell, and Gavin Graysick, who rode strong. What do you got for us, Golden?
Road distributing whole shot winner, Mr. Tyler Medaglia, been doing an awesome job. Got the 2-week break, and it looks like you're yourself into some awesome shape, because, man, that was one of the toughest motos I've ever seen you guys ride out there.
Yeah, that was probably like the hardest moto I've ever done in my life. Like, I almost got heat exhaustion, and you know, the week was good. I mean, I got to hang out with my family, and we chased a little bit of bike setup on the west, so we learned from it and changed up the bike a bit, and obviously it's working a lot better for me.
Teddy Mayer soldiering through that first MX1 moto. Teddy, man, with the heat, the way the track is there, dude, I think you did a really good job getting some solid points, getting third there. This is an unreal day. What kind of temperatures we were dealing with?
Yeah, no, man, I seen I was catching Tyler, and I was like, man, I'll just be steady, pick my lines, but it is so hard to stay consistent every lap. And when you're pushing it a little bit, it's you take that chance of making mistakes. And I made a few mistakes before with some gnarly sections, and it just drains you. Once your heart rate spikes, it's so hard to get it to come down. I mean, it takes laps.
Kind of a shy guy, kind of keep to myself, and kind of the same way when I'm back home, just kind of really focused on racing. It's kind of like pretty much my life, you know. My parents have done it, and my grandparents have done it. Like, it's just kind of a big family tree, and every time I come here, I'm here to win, and that's what I want to do. Without racing, I got nothing else. I mean, I got my little brother, he plays basketball, but other than that, I don't got much to do. Kind of live in a farmy area, and it's kind of all we got going on. I've always been a McGrath guy ever since he's been in Supercross, and then even with his struggles, I've always been a Stewie fan. Still to this day, I've always been a Stewie fan, and I like Reed. Dungey's okay. I mean, I prefer Stewie, though. That's what I always wanted, was if I ever got big time or just the next level up, I've always would give whatever I could away and sign every autograph and just be nice to everybody, because, you know, without them, you know, racing's nothing. This motocross is nothing without the fans.
Serious young man. Nice shot at Trevor, Julian Cerny's cousin. These guys are battling after this short break.
This is the Gopher Dunes MX facility, one of the roughest motocross tracks in the world, and Brian Costner and Mark Travers are in the booth, and we are ready to deliver MX2 Moto 2 to you as the lovely Monster Girls bring that 30 board out. My goodness, is that Mary Lou sweet as pie, Brian. This second MX2 Moto will be brought to you by Motovan.com.
I tell you, Trav, she is sweet as Mom's honey cake.
All the Monster Girls are as sweet as Mom's honey cake with the 30 board up. MX2 pilots getting fired up. Fabulous. Second motor of the day for these guys. They know the track, but of course, the sand track constantly changing.
Yeah, this track develops a life of its own. It is a living thing. First whole shot moto specialist Topher Ingles back beside the doghouse. Maybe a little peekage in there at the activation point, and he scores it again. The room stripping whole shot.
Gopher Ingles with a great jump off the gate as we go to the Monster Energy lockoff. Cam 40 riders flying by. What an angle, Brian.
A bunch of guys on the wrong side of the banners, but look at this. We got a newcomer here, Marshall Welton, with a great start, sitting in second place, and Politelli with an excellent start this moto third.
Boys coming into the Honda corner as we go on board the P-Dub drone cam, Brian. Taking a look at this beautiful Gopher Dunes facility, wide track, sand base. Beautiful day, it's a beauty out here.
Lots of lines for these riders. They still want to pick the best line, but there's a lot of options. And really on this track, that's an oxymoron. There's really not a best line. It's tough everywhere.
Up and over the finish line jump, Brian. That's a gigantic tabletop. And look at the speed that Politelli's carrying on the outside, quickly into second place over Welton. And I think the 5:39 of Dylan Wright right now is sitting in fourth. And here comes 2:66. That's Wentland with that inside line and finished third in the first moto, Brian. He's on the gas.
We saw Dylan Wright case the finish line tabletop in a big way and a big bounce as he gets relegated one spot by Wetland. These guys are going tooth and nail. Look at this, he's making the pass.
Going up on the inside, carrying a lot of speed, Brian. The only two-stroke right now in the top 5. We talked about this kid being 15 years old, yellow-plated amateur rider, but he's not riding like an amateur today.
Finishing 5th in that first moto, Travs, was huge.
And Fabs, I want to talk about the 266 of Wentland. Of course, the Red Bull KTM team brought him up to replace Benoit, and they have to be happy from what they've seen so far.
Yeah, definitely a solid first moto. Now he's taking a pick. Wetland on that inside line, a lot shorter distance to the corner as he gets by Walton. And I think our boy here, Dylan Wright, on that outside line, Travs, it's a little smoother out there. Oh, no, but I think Walton's got his measure.
This is the battle for fourth place, Brian, through the Zox rollers. Look at the line and the speed that Wright is carrying. Oh, my goodness. Coming into their first turn. Oh, and they're just snaking around that corner. I'm loving it. Oh, huge contact, Brian.
What an aggressive bit of racing right now. And I think our friend there, Wilton, does not like the intermediate plate getting in his grill. And he is just right in there with some saucy contact.
Sometimes the thing about an intermediate rider riding up in the pros here, Brian, they got nothing to lose. They just go up there and just run amok. And if they get a great finish, that's good for them. But if they don't get a great finish, it doesn't matter. It's a good learning experience. Politelli is down again, Brian.
Holy cow, man. Oh, and he keeps it running, though. He only loses a couple spots, but he does lose some real estate, loses 3 spots.
That's some intense action here in the second MX2 moto from Gopher Dunes. Welton, Wright, and Politelli all clustered together in this monster corner.
Politelli come in with a big lockup. Here it is. He comes in, just wants to jump into the turn, lands in the soft stuff. Classic slide out, just stuffs himself hard. And that is a skilled move, but you have to ride this track in that manner. You've got to jump everything, and that was business as usual for Politelli, but a very minor miscue samples.
Well, especially in the sand, Brian, because the lines aren't as defined as hard pack. They're rolling, and those tops are so soft. Right now, Politelli has gotten by Wright, and he's moving up on Welton. Look at how aggressive Politelli is through those Zox rollers. Outside, Brian, let's see if he snakes it on the inside.
Nice outside-inside cut. Doesn't quite make it, but he has got the bit between his teeth. He is making moves on this racetrack off this tabletop. A lot of passing in this Monster Energy right-hander. And look at him on the outside, missing all those bumps, Travis. That is a sneaky line right out.
Oh my, Brian, that was a violent crash. Inside line coming into the Honda corner, and both riders are hurt and dazed. Certainly Politelli's up, but he is dazed. Welton on the canvas, and he does not look good.
Holy cow, that was a violent get-together. Politelli was coming in so fast, and they just locked bars. Okay, here it is. Politelli has got the momentum. He jumps way further. He's coming in from the pass. He's got the room, but Welton just hears him coming and decides to shut the door. And look at the auger of Politelli's head in that hay bale. Cartwheels over both riders, huge cartwheel. Dylan Wright comes through and says, I'll take those 2 positions, thank you very much, but at what cost? Now, Politelli can't get it fired.
Fabs, I think Politelli's front wheel came in and clipped Welton. I think that's what caused that huge carnage.
Well, Welton definitely closed the door on him.
So with Politelli trying to get his bike fired, we move ahead to the battle for the lead. The number 13 of Topher Ingles got the Royal Distributing hole shot. He's in the lead, but here comes the 266 LCR KTM of Jesse Wentland.
These two have really checked out on the field, so Topher thought he was all alone having a good old time. But look at Wetland coming in, and on the splitter, Politelli finally gets it up and running. Good stuff.
But you saw the medics attending to Welton on the ground. That does not look like a good situation, Brian. We're going to have to get an update on him. But look at this battle for the lead. Ingles looks a little tired on the outside, Brian, as we go on board. And look at that line for Wentland. Comes in and just squares him off.
Boy, oh boy, does he ever look strong right now. We saw Topher maybe with the elbows down a bit. He blew a gasket in that first moto. That was very taxing on him. But right now, look at Topher hang back. Wetland looks like he is reborn.
coming into the section that Welton went down in. Brian, let's go back and see a replay. You see the speed that Wentland is carrying, and really on the sand track, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, definitely. Topher's going pretty good, but Wetland just hooks up. He's got the inside here, and look at all these braking bumps. This place is gnarly, and what a pass. That is for the lead. Yanks a tear off. He is checking out right now, man. He is flying.
This is the battle for 6th place. A pair of Gopher Dunes Honda. These are teammates, Brian. The 26 of Nathan Bless and the 57 of Savage. Bless gets by for 6. Savage looks like he's falling back a little bit. He's suffering from that first moto crash.
Yeah, well, check out the ruts on the face of that tabletop. They get pretty deep at the bottom. It's deceiving because the riders G into it so hard. So pretty techy there.
To our 3rd place rider, that's the 539 of Dylan Wright getting his last lap flag. Brian, he's sitting in 3rd place. If he finishes the race in 3rd, it'll be the first podium for an amateur.
Unbelievable, and you'll notice he rolls that finish line tabletop to Yosh Clark on that Devil's Lake MX machine, sitting 4th, solid.
To our leader, the number 266, Jesse Wentland on that LCR KTM, getting some support this weekend from that Royal Distributing Red Bull KTM team. Beautiful in that Fox gear, Brian. He looks really good on this track.
And he is riding a gear high. He knows from his mechanics on the pit board that he has a nice lead, so he is just trying to find the easy way around here as best he can, hanging on to it. We've seen so many guys drop like flies. Takes the checkered flag, 2nd moto win, and 2nd on the day. To our Yamaha leaderboard, we want to talk about Alexandra Marin finishing 5th, really good, and Hayden Halstead, local boy in a 250 two-stroke, doing really well. We're going to the 3rd member of our team, gold member.
Talk to me about the track out here. I know you're a pretty good stand guy. You ride Millville from Minnesota out there. Talk to me about how tough this track was for you out there, because it looked like guys were dropping like crazy.
Yeah, it's like the sand is endless here. It just digs deeper and deeper and deeper, and I mean, we have some pretty gnarly sand tracks in Minnesota, but nothing like this. This really whooped my butt here today.
Oh my God. The yellow plate shows it. The first amateur ever to grab a podium finish here. Dylan Wright, my friend, you just put on a show like no other. Each and every one of these race fans here were on their feet cheering you on, my friend. What's going through your mind right here, dude? You are an intermediate and on the box.
I mean, I'm kind of speechless right now. It's just a joy to be out here and CMRC National. It's been my dream all the time to get up on the box, and just speechless. It's awesome.
It's the charge to see a young man realize a dream. To the overall points now after 5 of 9. Politelli has a pretty good day points-wise, but Topher really steps up in the standings. We got ourselves a battle.
Please put your hands together for our top 3.